Greetings and welcome back to SwitchedtoLinux. How is the audio doing? Yesterday's audio was way too clipping, so I made some audio adjustments, and I'm looking okay. You guys let me know. How's the audio? Do I need to go a little bit higher, a little bit lower? Pet the kitty. Pet the kitty. But hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Today, we're going to be talking about the amazing, wonderful world of Windows making updating even worse. That's right. How could Windows possibly make update any worse? Today, you'll find out. All right, let's see who is online today. We have Mark. Nothing worse than Windows itself. Yeah, stepping on a Lego. Stepping on a Lego might be worse than Windows itself. I'm not sure. It depends on what kind of Lego it is. I concur, though. I mean, ow, these things hurt. I remember the time I had to update Windows 10 on my desktop, all because I left the PC on for too long. Half hour later, update failed. It's kind of like printers, you know. They always fail the 3 in the morning, right before you need the document printed. I've tested Mint 19 and love it. Very nice. Yes, Mint 19 is pretty sweet. Greetings from Debian, where shutdown takes less than 2 seconds. Do you remember when I was telling you I have issues with Windows Update and it failed 3 times now? It still fails, and tried to update 15 to 20 with no luck. Oh boy, 1809 updates. Don't worry, you don't want 1809 anyway, man. I mean, you want to keep your files intact and things like that. Greetings, Ricky. How's it going there? Upgrading from Windows 7, so fresh install Windows 10 would resolve it, but I don't need the features. Yep. EB is on Windows 10 now. All right, who are EB's personal friends? I'm smelling an intervention. We need to go and have an intervention with EB. Get him off of Windows. Friends don't let friends use Windows, guys. I mean, come on. Greetings there, Serge. All right. All right, let me copy link address. Let me have a look at this link, see if it's something that, let's see. Okay. Cool. All right. Can I bookmark that? Yeah, I'll go ahead and bookmark that. Done. All right. Thank you for that link. I will have a chance to get into that. I may or may not get Calculate installed on the computer today. I don't think I actually have time. I'm still in the middle of trying to get marketing set and getting an audiobook done for the last book. I think once I'm done with that, when the audiobook is done, then I think I'll take the time to put Calculate on it. Particularly since to get Calculate on there, I'm going to have to install it differently. That I usually install it because I have an IC dock in this machine. I just pop out the IC dock. I'll pop out the drives and install it directly to this. But since it's Gen 2 and it's going to install the specific, you know, components for the computer, I have to install it on the computer it's going to be on. So that means I have to pull the computer out, which it's kind of in a tight spot. I have to pull the drives, install it, and then put all the drives back in. So I'm not sure I'm going to get to Calculate this week. It's probably going to be next week. What I'm going to do is for tomorrow's video, we're going to release the second half of the news from yesterday. So kind of like a day off so I can, you know, get caught up on that audiobook. And then what we're going to do from there is I'm going to, I end up buying a burner phone so that I can do tutorials on Nextcloud talking about contact and calendar syncing on stock Android devices with Nextcloud. So we're going to do that. My guess is we'll see that video on Tuesday, depending on how it all works. And so that's kind of what's coming down the pipeline now. I want to get in and get all those Nextcloud videos done and then move on and work on another big thing as well. So that's what's coming on down the pipeline. So Calculate probably next week is when I'll get to it. Arch isn't giving me any problems, and so I'm just going to stick with Arch for another week or so. BuddyTube, is there a way to update Windows 10 offline, never allowing it to connect to the internet? I don't think so, but I don't know. Greetings, Snap. CJ is right by the goodies. Yep, he is. Yeah, Windows 10 updates ruin the internet connection on the Asus. No longer bothered with it anymore. Okay, there's another one as well. I bookmarked the one, so I'll figure it out, I guess. All right, audio is good. All right, YouTube notifications for me take anywhere from 15 minutes from after live stream starts to well over an hour. Audio's fine. All right, yep. Yeah, it's a little lower than I usually do, but I had so much clipping on that video from yesterday. It was bad. But anyway, we're fine. Audio quality is okay for me, but a bit too quiet. Audio is great. Hello there, Joe. Greetings, greetings. Frost Ranger with Frost Rum. Hello, Grey Ghost. Greetings. Already converted a friend over to Linux Mint, and he loves it. Hello, Jeff Hope. How's it going there? 13 months without Windows. Best thing ever. Printer or something, always have a second one. Can't live without one. I used to run 2. Do I have 2? No, anymore for color. I just go to a friend's house. I have a friend who lives a couple miles away that has a few different printers as well. So if I can't get a document printed here, I go over there and get a document printed over there. Unfortunately, I have a Canon, but I actually have their printer drivers installed on my system. So, all right. Windows update messes up the bootloader. Hey, pizza, 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 pizza. All right, I missed my spot though. Windows or Mac? One had to go since, let's see. I'm on Windows at the moment. Pizza? No, pizza! Come back to Linux. All right, let's see. Just slow speed download, anything heavy installation. Forces you to reboot in the middle of your work, yeah. All right. Phone did I get? I don't know, let me see. A really cheap crap Alcatel one. Cheapest I could get. Cost me $30. But it should work for me. Recommended Linux distro in 2019. I'd go Linux Mint 19.1. I like it. Try to search something Service Pack offline. Yeah, they might have the Service Packs, but I highly doubt it. If you could, you might be able to download the ISO for the latest release if they still have the ISOs and wipe and reinstall. I'm not sure I'd do that. Linux, you can do that without a huge hassle, but Windows, All right, well, let's go ahead and jump on into our content. So we're going to go ahead and rerun the intro, and I'm going to start recording. So give me a second. Let me cough. Early mornings are just not good for me, you know. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, if you thought it couldn't get any worse, Windows is actually making the update process worse. Only this time it's going to mess up the business guys rather than all the home users. So, of course, a TLDR about the entire issue and the controversy behind the Windows. Right about the time Windows 8.1 comes out, some guy at Microsoft's going, look at all of these QA people we have working here. Why don't we just dump all of them and have basically have the computing world be our beta testers, and then a few months later we'll roll out what the beta tester results is to the rest of the corporate world. Well, yeah, no more for that. So now the corporations will get the beta testing right along with the rest of us. Woohoo! And that's why I switched to Linux, people. Well, one of many reasons I switched to Linux. However, what happens here is we have our article here coming from Ars Technica. Let me increase my window size a little bit there. So Windows is making yet another change to the updates. So prior up to this point in time, we had a couple different channels. We had the semi-annual channel and the semi-annual channel targeted. All right, so what's going on here is the targeted is kind of like the official release, but the semi-annual channel is kind of what the customers get. So literally, we have become the beta testers for Windows 10 in the personal sector. Now, the businesses have the ability to defer things longer. They can set the upgrade channels, and they can set to only upgrade a certain period of time after the actual final real corporate release, which usually lagged behind the public release, because what happens is they push it out to all the public and they don't roll it all out instantly. It's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. They roll it out to a select number of users, and then feedback comes in about what breaks, and then it's literally like an acceptable loss thing. You see Fight Club, right? The guys there talking about the acceptable losses. You know, if this times this times this times this is less than the cost of the recall, we're not going to do the recall. We're just going to pay out the lawsuits when, you know, people die, whatever. And so Windows has adopted effectively the same model, where they roll it out and then they deal with the acceptable losses, and then they keep rolling it out to more and more people. And then once it's rolled out, then they roll out the final to the business world, and then the business guys can either accept them immediately or on a 30 or 60 or whatever day delay. And so what happens is now all of the regular basic home users and basic consumers are getting their Windows updates, and then all of this thing, and this is what caused the, was it the 1809 snafus where they issued it? It was like doing massive things like deleting files and all sorts of other weird stuff. So they retracted it, and then they re-released it, and then there were some other issues with Outlook. All of this is because Windows does not employ any QA people anymore. The end user is the QA team. So if you're trying to do anything really productive, you might just wake up one day with all your stuff deleted. I hope you got a backup strategy. You might wake up with a non-booting system because they don't really test it anymore. You know, 3 or 4 hipsters, they got, yeah, this thing's work fine for me, man. And then they just roll it out. Well, what's happening is with the 1903, they're getting rid of the SACT channel. So basically now the release happens, and now the businesses are now on the same exact release schedule as everybody else. So here's the actual explanation of it from Microsoft, which came out just a couple days ago on Thursday. So they are retiring the SACT. So basically what would happen is, in the old way of doing a corporate deployment of Windows, what you would have is the option to select either the semi-annual channel or the semi-annual targeted channel. The targeted lags behind the SAC channel. And then you could do, there's 2 other drop downs here. One of these is update features, new capabilities and improvements can be delayed, and then quality updates can be deployed. So in other words, 2 different separate channels here. One of these for feature upgrades, one of these for security updates. Now, these are things you will not have the option to do in the home environment, but in the enterprise environment of Windows, you have it. So they're dropping the SACT, basically meaning that there's no, here's a release, and then a few months later, here's a release. All right. Now it's all, here's the release. Now, for a one-time bonus deal on the 1903, if you had set the targeted, they are delaying the 1903 updates by an extra 30 days. But going forward, that drops down, and you can only delay the update, I think, up to 60 days now. So going back to that entire snafu with the 1903, which was doing things like randomly deleting people's files, bricking their network cards. You know, if your Windows 10 bricks the network card, you're kind of sunk. You can't get online to fix your computer, all right? You got to get an internet connection somewhere else, download the ISO, wipe the whole machine. I mean, it's a mess. Outside, I guess you could take it to somebody who knows the ins and outs and install the drivers manually. You can always do that as well. But then, of course, next time it gets on the internet, it says, your drivers are out of date. We're going to update your drivers, and it bricks again. Brick, because this is why I switched to Linux. All right. So with all of these snafus, now they are literally decreasing the amount of time corporations have to update their Windows enterprise systems. Bravo, Windows. Bravo. May I take this time to suggest, instead of focusing a lot on this, maybe you should start thinking about moving your business operations over to a Linux system. Hey, calculates designed for this type of deployment. Several other systems are designed for this type of deployment. Yeah, I understand. There's some cases that you can't. There's unfortunately too many proprietary software packages that only work with Windows, which is definitely unfortunate. But, you know, for us home users, guys, we don't have a lot of excuses. A lot of the things that we do as regular home users and things, and I say regular home users, I run businesses from my home. I don't have Enterprise Edition of Windows laying around anywhere, is kind of my point. Most of us can accomplish the things we need to accomplish on Linux. Gaming might lag somewhat behind. I understand Pizza either just released or is releasing soon a video saying, you know, the gaming thing in Linux isn't actually all that bad anymore. Sure, you may not be able to get your, you know, whatever you call your most recent releases. I don't know. I'm not a gamer. I don't know. But guys, anything else you can do. And that's really what this channel is about, is teaching you how to do real productive things. Not just installing Linux in a corner somewhere, oh, look what I can get my computer to do, but how to actually get real world things done on Linux. That's my ultimate purpose and task with this channel. So with Windows coming out and totally screwing up the updates for everybody, what's your plan? Do you have one? Sounds fun, doesn't it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, man, I could come up with another article. Let me see if I have anything else in my fun list of things to talk about. Maybe we could do a separate video for tomorrow. Let me check my article list of things I wanted to talk about sometime in the future. We'll jump over to comments before I do another one, but how is everybody today? How is everybody indeed? Maybe I'll find something else to talk about Windows too. Article lists. Let's see. Talked about that yesterday. That's an interesting article I didn't talk about yet. Let me pull that up. Close this. Close this. All right. Now let's jump on over to the comments. So if you jumped on a little bit later, I will be releasing the edited version of the Windows Update info for you guys. I'll be releasing that shortly after the stream's done today here. Kaio uses Arch. Have fun with a 1 gig of RAM on Android. Yeah, I don't care. All I needed to do is sync contacts and things like that. I don't need the phone for anything else. That's why I intentionally bought the cheapest thing I could possibly find. Peppermint 9 take care of trim on SSD. I do not know. Does anybody else know? Right now, for me, at least Windows 10 works, just works on Arch. Doesn't anymore. 10 just works and Arch doesn't anymore. A way to donate other than YouTube or Patreon? To me, PayPal. If you head on over to, I'll just go and drop the link in there. And I also actually have my own, I have my own support page also called Think Life Media, which is a support portal for all my things. It's kind of like Patreon, but it's my own self-hosted thing. All right, so there is the link for that. So that's actually my support page. So I have that. I have the LibrePay link on there too. I have a LibrePay account. I've never actually tied into it. I don't know if anybody's ever put any money in there or not. It's kind of experimental. PayPal, of course, comes right to me, and I have the Amazon link as well. Don't forget to check out thinklifemedia.com, which is my own personal support page. All right. Sudo reboot. Greetings, Sudo. How's it going there, sir? Solid or SSD, it's Windows. I know that because my 3 streams have the same problem. 2 of them are barely touched because they are backup systems. Oh, by the way, regarding streaming and Windows, who was it? Oh, I forget who did it. Just did a video recently. He's a big tech channel. Just recently did a crossover video with Level 1 Tech. I forget who it was. Somebody will know who I'm talking about. He actually did a video, and I think it was something titled Windows is Holding Streamers Back. I think something to that effect. Have a look at that video. He actually talks about how Windows and the background systems really messes with OBS and streaming things. I did not hear about the exploit for that, no. I'd really like to translate something, but I'd rather... Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Tom, I'm folding laundry while listening. All right. Hates PayPal, yeah. Linux floods me with updates, but at least I have a chance to install them or not. Yeah, I think my Arch wants to install something like a couple hundred packages now. Should we go ahead and try it? Should we try it? Should we try it? Checking updates. Let's see what it's doing. Long live stream on Slackware Thursday at 8 p.m. French time. All right. They, not we, dear Tom. They, we, huh? What did I say? What did I say? Man, this thing wants to download almost a gig of data. Sure, why not? I need a little Arch updates in my life. Snapd exploit. I don't know anything about the Snapd exploit. So, I mean, if I could find it really quick, I could do that. Let me look up the Snapd exploit. All right, let's see. It's disgusting. I have 10 Pro and don't even have a choice to defer updates. If I do, it doesn't work. Yep. Do I use Mac OS and Linux? Yep. No updates here, and deferring updates work fine. All right. Now get a... Okay. Parents are still in 1803. All right. Give up on Windows 10. Windows 7 is going to be gone next year. Not interested in 8 or 8.1 either. I don't mind 8 or 8.1 really. Sure. Okay. I don't have time to look at what my screen's asking me to do right now. Well, let's just click yes, like the rest of the world. Ha ha ha. Hopefully I have a working Arch tomorrow. Okay. Hello, Carbon. Greetings. Saved XP on a partition and only boot it that disconnected from the net for a few games. There you go. What do I think about Unix? I don't know much about Unix. If I wanted a rolling system, I'd use an Arch-based system. Why would I even bother with Windows? See if I can find that exploit. Okay. It's Photoshop on Linux. Generally no. Like you can get generally the installers don't work, but if you can port it over without an installer, in theory it works. But I don't bother with it because Linux has GIMP and Krita, which, you know, GIMP pretty much replaces Photoshop entirely. I mean, I know for my business it does. Let's do Chromium OS review. I do not have a Chromium device. I don't know if I can install it in a virtual machine. Maybe I'll look at it. Windows Update cleared all our network card information on workstations that need a static IP. Ouch. Thank you, Reboot, for the reminder to thumbs up the stream. And if you're new here, you can subscribe. I do about, 4 or 5 live streams a week. Then I do some other videos throughout the week as well. Gamer on Linux? No, I don't dual boot. All right. Greetings, Brian. How's it going there? Good to see you today. Played your 2019 distro top 5 for class Wednesday night. Very cool. Awesome. Did they like it? Okay, learn my lesson with BIOS updates. All right. Most people saying gaming on Linux still sucks. Have low-end specs. That's it. EPOS Vox, I think. Is that how you pronounce it? Okay, reason you gotta get a PC made for gaming. Yeah, I should try some gaming on Linux. I should see what I can do. What happens when the computer doesn't have an IP? Nothing happens. Snap exploit was fixed. All right. Business should be using the WSUS Update Manager, which is one way to control releases. Yeah, actually, that is. Hold on, there was a note about that in the release notes. Hold on, let me see what that note was. Okay, so in the release notes, we've completed the work beginning with Windows 10 version 1903, the next feature update for Windows. Windows 10 release information will no longer list SACT information for Windows 1903 and future feature updates. Instead, you will find a single entry for each SAC release. In addition, if you're using Windows Update for Business, you will see a new UI and behavior to reflect that there is only one release date for each SAC release. If you use System Center Configuration Manager, Windows Server Update System, or WSUS, or other management tools, there will now only be one feature update published for WSUS, and this will occur at the time of release. So yes, that is also impacted. Tips when we should use update and upgrade on Linux. Sure. I never update anything in the middle of projects. So like, I'll be working on a writing project. I'm working on a book. All right. I am never going to run updates in the middle of a project. I don't want the system to change. I don't want configurations to change. I don't want to risk the system becoming unstable. I've never had that happen, but I just don't want to risk it. So for me, when a big project is done, I'll save all the data, back everything up, and then I'm going to do a full, system update, get everything up to date, and then I'll jump into the next project. So I generally don't update things in between projects. And that's actually what helps me is I have dedicated computers for dedicated projects. So I have one computer specifically dedicated to writing. And then with that one computer dedicated to writing, that only does books. And then I might be working on 2 books simultaneously. So I'm actually going to be pushing updates through because we're working on another book now, but I'm off of that computer for the audio editing. Does not get done on that computer either. Just I do that on the big computer just so that I have access to all the other stuff as well. So I do it in between projects is when I run updates. Okay. Class uses Mint in class. Very good. Nintendo Switch looks like a toaster, but doesn't toast anything. I'm triggered. Views on Manjaro update breaking stuff. I have never had a Manjaro system update break stuff. Never happened for me. Thank you for that super chat, Jeff. We'll get down there in a second. So I've run Manjaro a few different times in my media system, which is a production type environment. Never had any problems, and I absolutely loved it. If somebody wants to try Arch and they're fairly new to Linux, I say try out Manjaro. I think it's a great distro. But some people are saying that, yes, that does happen every now and again. Why Linux seem to run hot as compared to Windows 10? Sometimes it just has to do with the fact that the drivers and the ability to control the fans aren't as well supported in some cases. Experience with Cacto or NAG iOS? No, I don't. Hello, Antic Designs. Greetings, greetings. Only restore an image can fix it. Don't think I'm using any more doing any more distro reviews. Pop! OS, Solace, and Arch are perfect for me. There you go. Jeff Hope, thank you very much for that super chat, Jeff. Always appreciate that, my friend. Debian, Ubuntu, and Pop, rest as it is, and so did I miss the main topic? Yeah, the main topic actually was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I will be editing out the main topic and releasing just that on a concise one later on this afternoon. I'm gonna look through my list and see what else we have to talk about here that I can do. See if I can knock out a better video for tomorrow. Maybe I'll just do 2 video releases tomorrow. I'll do the business news and then I'll do another one. Antergos is broke twice, both within 2 weeks. Yeah, I've never had luck with Antergos. Just Talks Life. Do you think Linux can take over the computing operating system if it got the same amount of software engineering? It actually already has taken over the Linux the operating system world. The only place that Linux does not reign supreme is the desktop. Everywhere else, Linux is number one. Everywhere else. Anything is safer than Deepin, probably. All right. So I'm gonna close that out. Apparently the snap exploit was fixed, so we're not going to get into there because I haven't looked into it. But this is an interesting one. I'm going to change my banner. We're going to record this one because this is an interesting discussion point. So... Gotta drop my font even more. And decor, add some beveliness. And banners and title. Are we ready for this title? Even AI researchers are scared of AI. Ooh, this sounds fun. All right, we'll go ahead and record this one as well. Hold on, let me catch up on comments here. All right, Kubuntu 18.10 backports enabled. Best Linux ever. There you go. All right. May not use its power-saving features. Okay. Arch Deepin ISO on SourceForge, faster than Deepin, and safer. Yep. I'm actually running Deepin on... I'm actually running Deepin right now. Oh, really? What do you want? Hold on. I'm running the Deepin desktop on Arch Labs right now. Works fine. Better than GNOME for me. You think Linux? Okay. Honestly say I only had one issue with Windows 10. It only crashes because I had about 13 things open and running at the same time. Woohoo, my system is up to date. Thoughts on Elementary OS? I do not like Elementary. I did include it in my list of distros for this year because there's some fascinating things it does, but overall I don't like Elementary OS. It's, as far as a Linux build, it doesn't follow the philosophy of Linux that is easy to use for, like easy to customize, easy to configure. You can't make it your own. When you use our Elementary OS, they kind of want to lock you into using it the way they want you to use it. They have managed, the most impressive thing about Elementary OS is that they have managed to adopt the entire Apple ethos into a Linux operating system, including rabid fanboys, a locked down system, and a weird UI. It's baffling to me. But yeah, it's definitely a distro to watch because they also have some fascinating things. Can you do a Life in Linux tomorrow night? I don't know. In fact, I'm pretty sure the answer is no. It depends on what Tassa's schedule is. And I think he's doing one today, but I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm probably tied up until 9 or 10 anyway. And after that, I'm probably going to have to do audiobook stuff rather than another live stream tomorrow because I'm probably going to have 2 videos posted tomorrow. All right. Problems with making Manjaro USB. Which USB boot do you recommend? It depends. If you're on Windows, what is the one I'm using on Windows? I can't remember. I actually have a video on my playlist. Check out my playlists and find my playlists about getting started with Linux. And I have a video there talking about which bootloader, USB creator to run on Windows. Use that one that's in that video. I can't remember what it is. Etcher, it might be Etcher. Acer gaming laptops always have problems with Linux. I don't know. A friend of mine has an Acer laptop that had a difficulty running Linux. We wanted to give him Ubuntu Studio because he's doing it for creative design stuff. We ended up having to install Linux Mint on it instead because it was the only distro I could get working well. AMD processor with NVIDIA graphics is what his is. Part of Windows 10 besides gameplay is the master boot record. Never deletes even if you wipe your hard drive. So you can reinstall without having to purchase another key. AI doesn't scare me. AI is always limited by the code. Reboot the Arch and see how it works. No, there's some stuff in there. I can't reboot it right now. Hire Morgan Freeman to read my audiobooks. Yeah, I talked to him about it. He just charges too much, you know. Actually, there's something about an author reading their own audiobooks that a lot of people really like. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the next category here. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is not Switch to Linux. This might be a deepfake. Because even deepfakes are getting too real to be noticed that they're fakes. What? Well, it turns out that even AI researchers are scared of their own AI. And in a recent article by Ars Technica, which we will get into in a moment, they are talking about how they were developing this AI to basically write text and content, and they're terrified of the thing, so they're actually holding back some of the information from the future releases. Yes, people, this is the world we are in, and it is a frightening world at that. So, from Ars Technica, researchers scared by their own work hold back deepfakes for text AI. So deepfakes, of course, if you don't remember the whole deepfake controversy, this is terrifying stuff because it gives you the basic ability to create a video that looks like a person saying something. So if you want to see, the president declare some evil thing happening, you can make a deepfake to make him do it. Of course, it started in the bad video industry. We'll leave it at that. And people putting their favorite actors in their videos. Maybe with them, I don't know. But the deepfakes kind of became this difficult thing to spot. And then, of course, this Chinese news company came out and has literally a deepfake newscaster. Another company came out which has, I think it might be linked in this article. I think it's called something like I Am Not a Person. Maybe it wasn't this article. Basically, there's a site, it's something to the effect of IamNotAperson.com or something like that, which is this endless generation of creating pictures of people that don't actually exist. It's kind of terrifying. Well, this is deepfake for writing content. It's all we need, AI to write our content. But the researchers are looking at this going, this is doing scary stuff. And so when they release the algorithms and the code for this, they are actually holding back part of it because AI is getting too sophisticated. And so OpenAI, a non-profit research company investigating the path to safe artificial intelligence, has developed a machine learning called Generative Pre-trained Transformer 2, capable of generating text based on brief writing prompts. The result becomes so close to mimicking human writing, it could potentially be used to deepfake content built on 40 gigabytes of text retrieved from sources on the internet, including sources like Reddit. Oh, great. When they start copying text from 4chan, the world is effectively going to be over. Just to let you guys know. This ties right on in with an article we talked about the other day in the news where President Trump actually signed an executive order and basically saying we're going to throw a bunch of a bunch of infrastructure, basically a whole bunch of stuff into just doing, I'm trying to find the article. Hold on a second. All right, so Trump wanting the United States to not fall behind in AI technology pushed an executive order boosting infrastructure about AI. So in this, he wants to basically throw a lot of money and a lot of resources into AI tools to do a lot of things. This is actually a different article than I was thinking of, but anyway, I think this is this is a predecessor on the other one that I saw, which came out just a couple days after this. So President Trump launched his American AI initiative that directs federal agencies to prioritize investments in research and the development of AI. Initiative focuses federal government resources toward developing AI technology and ensuring that the next great AI inventions are made in the United States. He wants to have funding for it. He wants to encourage companies to create AI. He wants to encourage governments to incorporate AI and basically bring AI into the world. And then you get things like this, where the researchers developing the AI are kind of saying, this is so frightening that we need to hold some of this back because the models are too good. So we are now developing a framework by which we can develop and say this gets input into a machine like theoretically Skynet, where it starts creating its own content, becoming the relay in between. So the president is expecting a message coming from Russia, say, and really what the Russian government sends the president is, hey, we're going to get together. We are going to work together and we're going to help solve some global crises and de-escalate issues. The computer sees that this is bad for itself and it retranslates and rewrites the AI, taking the model of the Russian leader, retranslates it into a message of hate toward the president and issues a war. That is the type of stuff that could happen in this type of scenario. So we have to be very, very careful with this type of thing. But this is the world we're moving into. So this development research team who is developing this system is holding back part of the code because it's too advanced. Guys, we need to prepare for the technological doomsday because it's coming. It really is. The AI is getting too sophisticated. It's getting too smart. And it's getting to the point where we can't even rely on real evidence that used to exist. What did somebody say in a video? What did somebody say in text? What did somebody say in a book? Because now the computers can generate things which seem to come from us, which may or may not have come from us. Take this into a culture like the legacy media that does not want to verify resources. They just want to be the first to the game with their tweets. And then now it becomes part of a record, and to not need to save face, they don't want to have to go back and correct themselves. These are problematic things, problematic parts for our society. And I'm not a Luddite. Okay, I don't think that we want to cast off all technology, but I'm also not a guy that says, hey, new technology, let's use it. Because there's equally wrong issues on both sides of those coins. We need to examine the technology and make good, positive, and logical steps into what can be done with this technology. This is stuff to be cautious with. This is stuff to be careful with. We have to be aware of what's coming down the pipeline and have the cognition to say, okay, this is a good tech, let's adopt it, and this is a bad tech, let's not adopt it. Otherwise, we end up with technology and smart speakers that know more about us than we know about ourselves. Devices like the Nest thermostat, which came out this week to actually have microphones in it, even though it's not in the parts list, and it may or may not actually be active, but still, those little Nest thermostats, they have microphones in them. We are intentionally and cognitively spending our own money to bug our own lives perpetually and handing that data over to these companies because we're failing to read the terms of service. And the AI is getting smart enough to predict what we can do and make things worse for us. We don't need to be a Luddite, but we do need to be cognizant about the technologies we allow into our life. So think about those things. What do you think in the comments down below? Alrighty, let's see. Windows USB creator is called Rufus. I think that might be the one I'm using on mine. Been back and forth between Windows 7, Linux Mint, Arch, Windows 10, and back now to Arch. And since I can still play Overwatch, the RPG games I like on Arch, there's no reason switching now. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, what is the best gaming experience on Linux, guys? Is it like a Debian? Is it like an Arch? Is it a Gentoo? What's the best gaming experience on Linux? Let me know if you have advice on that. Brother wants to be unbanned from my stream. Don't do it. As long as he stops talking about private parts, that's fine. Kodashi is a Tails alternative. I have not seen that one. That looks fascinating. I'll look into it. I gotta say, I'm a Tails guy, but I will definitely look into it. I mean, I've looked at several of the Tails alternatives. I haven't found one that's really good. Like, there's the heads. You can't mount a drive to it. What's the point, you know? Alright. Seeing some parts of the private sector use Linux, but I'm seeing others use Microsoft Windows. Yep. Deepfake showed up there first. Yeah. Why all my documents are important stuff are on a separate hard drive. Yep, 4chan isn't that bad in comparison to some news sites. Yeah, probably. You're probably right about that. Does not understand the dilemmas of our new technology. No, he knows nothing about the internet or technology. He has no clue. Time comes we won't know if Matt's kitty is the real kitty on the kitty cam or deepfake. You mean my kitty? I'm Tom, though, not Matt, but... I don't know. Do I have a deep fake cat laying around? Deep fake cat. Hello, Appalling68. Greetings there. Oh, yes. I want my robot arms. All right. The show, social justice culture, yeah. I just disbelieve all MSM news and have for decades, yep. Mainstream media news, yep. AI and smart cities, you get a scenario where the video game like Watch Dogs. Yep. A scanner darkly. So Serge says Gentoo. Cookie says Arch. Video on MS Office 16 on Linux. Why? Generally getting Office to install on Linux it's a moot point. There is perilously little that Microsoft Office can do that LibreOffice can't. In fact, I find that LibreOffice has more practical functionality. By that meaning, practical functionality meaning there's more useful things that you can do with LibreOffice than Microsoft Office has. In other words, there might be extraordinarily advanced things Microsoft Office might be able to do that nobody even knows what it is or how it can do it. But LibreOffice has the easy ability to build in mailing labels. You don't have to download templates, easy adjusting things, mail merging with databases that don't cost you hundreds of dollars and thousands of dollars. Why would I want Microsoft Office on Linux? Just set up your LibreOffice to interface better with Microsoft Office, and that's generally a good thing to do. Solus is the best for gaming because of the Steam integration. Okay, so we have a whole giant debate here. You have newer hardware, your best bet is Arch. If you have older hardware, your best bet is probably an Ubuntu base. All right. Greetings, Tony Simmons. How's it going there? Don't really game on PC. A lot of video game emulation, though. Complete Linux gaming replacement for my Windows desktop. CJ is real and he likes to hug the Bible on the other channel. Yeah, he is. He's a Bible cat. Arch for latest and greatest. Maybe that's why we have a difference of opinion. It just depends on what hardware you have. LibreImpress sucks though when it comes to videos. I'll have to look into it. Can't say I've done a ton of presentations on it. LibreOffice, you can use 4 different programming languages. Yep. Is Arch as stable as Ubuntu, currently Mint 18? I'm not seeing any real issues with it, with Arch. I've been running this one here. I mean, I didn't like the desktop, so I just switched the desktop environment. You know, no big deal. But as far as stability, I'm not noticing any problems on Arch. I think it's just fine. I'm not pressed to change my operating system over here. It works great. So if you're a new user, I probably would stick with something more Ubuntu based. But you know, I've had to jump into the terminal to fix things and stuff like that, but there's been nothing that's been critical. All right, let's have a quick look at this, Kodashi Linux based on Debian Xubuntu. All right. Debian-based distro, which can run on a DVD or a USB thumb drive. Distribution filters all traffic through a VPN and the Tor network, obscuring the user's network location. Distribution attempts to clean itself up after removing traces of use. It attempts to, I guess if you install it to the system, it probably does something like that. Let's have a look at their homepage. Based on Xubuntu 18.04, will provide you with a secure, anti-forensic, and anonymous operating system, considering all the features a person who is concerned about privacy would need in order to be secure. It's very easy to use, and all you have to do is boot up your PC via USB drive, and then you should have a fully running operating system with established VPN connection plus Tor connection, established DNS script, service running, and no setup or Linux knowledge is required. All right, let's have a look at what we got here. .3 gig file. Let's go ahead and download that, see how that runs. SourceForge, so it's going to take us a little bit while to install. All right, so here's a list. So they're basically saying that you get one of these comparison tables. We are infinitely better than Tails. Here's why. Okay, we have Onion, random Mac generator, RAM wiping. Okay, built-in VPN from different providers plus your own if you wish. Running a Tor through a VPN, generally, if you actually read their documentation, they say don't run it through a VPN. I2P, GNU-net, Electrium wallets. No, Tails has Electrium wallets. So that's incorrect. Multi-Tor exit node changer. I believe Tor can do that. Wipe RAM free disk kill nuke OS. Tails doesn't need that. I'm finding that his entire website right here is disingenuous. And you know what else I'm not seeing? Anyone can tell me what I'm not seeing? Maybe it's here, but I'm not seeing it. Anyone? Anyone? How about a validation? If I'm going to be downloading a distribution from SourceForge, I want to be able, particularly when it's supposed to be a security and privacy, I am wanting to have the ability to do a checksum. I'm not seeing a checksum here. Is it here? Am I missing it? Let me check the comments, see if somebody is commenting it. Is there a checksum? I'm not seeing one. Solid student videos about gaming. Gentoo, too much work, though. Touting Kabachi for a few months now. I don't think it's good. Just looking at it, I don't think it's good. I would not use it. Okay, cubes, if you need anonymity, if you are installing to your operating system, cubes is the best to do. If you're running a USB key, Tails is the best to do. If you're running a virtual machine, Unix is the best to do. So yeah, it's there. Where is it? Checksums are on SourceForge's page. Okay, so there's the hash there. So there's the checksum there. All right. All right, so I guess there is the ability to do the checksum, but I'm not buying it because I know a lot of this kind of stuff. Let's do a quick search for Tor and VPN. Last time I checked, Tor said not to use it through a VPN, but let's see what that does. I want to see information from Tor directly. Okay. The other thing is, although you can pick your own VPN, it says it starts with a VPN on its own. What VPN is that? See, one of the problems with a VPN is it kicks the can down the road to the VPN company from the ISP. So it might hit a VPN node first before going to Tor, but now that VPN company can track everything you're doing. They have full access to the entire exit node that you have. That runs itself an issue as well. I'm not finding that one thing. I'd have to hunt around for it, but VPNs, last I knew VPNs and Tor, they said not to use it. And then a lot of this other stuff, Tor does, or Tails does. So I think he's basing his information on older versions of Tails, or he doesn't understand it or do as much with it. I would not use this. I can't recommend it at this point in time. I mean, I'll download it and poke around with it, but I'm not sure I would recommend it. Yep, I see it. Yeah. Click the info icon. They're there. Yep, I see them. I see them. But there's a risk you can hijack a link and redirect it to a malicious site. Yeah. You could do the same if on your own website as well. But what Tails actually has, though, is they have a built-in installer and validator. So if you want to be absolutely sure, there's a few ways to install Tails that will actually validate itself directly from Tails servers. So you're not reliant on SourceForge to do that as a separate. So yes, yes, they do actually have those. So that's something that we see. So that's good. I don't know. I mean, I'll poke around with it, but I would still say Tails is going to be your best implementation, which is also one of the official recommendations from the Tor project itself, if you saw on their page. So I'll have a look at it, and I'll poke around and see what we come up with. So, but yeah, thanks for pointing me to it. I'll look at it. I'll reserve my final judgment for once I get a chance to experiment with it. I don't like that my only download option is SourceForge too. That's all right. Let's see. HTTP headers. Packets are sent in plain text, so when it gets ran through your ISP, they can still see what you're doing. Because if the headers were encrypted, the router couldn't do anything with the packet. All right. I think we've been on here for about an hour now. I think what we might do is jump off here so I can get these videos processed and out. Thanks for coming along, guys. Don't forget you can take a look at the various support links that I have. Check out switchedtolinux.com/support for all the ways you can help support the channel. Check out shop.switchedtolinux.com if you want to pick up this awesome hoodie, or I got some coffee cups, water bottles, things like that. You can go ahead and take a look at those links there as well. And we'll be doing some more videos coming up in the near future. So let's see, link for Europe, London is their server. Okay. All right, guys, we will catch you guys later, and I'll have a look at this distro and do a more full report when I get a chance to poke around in it a little bit more and do some testing with it. So thanks for coming along, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.